Hi, everyone, and welcome to this next mini-sode of the Wine Pair podcast. I'm Joe, your sommelier of a reasonably priced wine, and this is my wife and my wine pairing partner in crime, Carmela.
Hello.
And we are the Wine Pair. Okay, if you are new to the Wine Pair podcast, these mini-sodes are just shorter versions of the podcast that we put on, and we do this in weeks where we maybe are traveling or handling some other life stuff. Right,
Exactly. A little snack, though, to keep you, satiated.
That's right. So
while we're away.
Instead of tasting and reviewing 3 wines under $20 that are easy to find, which is what we usually do in our longer episodes, in this mini-sode, and in mini-sodes overall, we focus more on things like wine etiquette or wine education or wine tips, and we try to make it fun and understandable to regular, everyday people like us, or maybe like you, I don't know.
Right. I'm the normal one. I'm just average.
Yeah, that's right. And just as a reminder, our podcast is recommended by Decanter Magazine. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So, in this mini-sode, Carmela, we are going to talk about legs.
Wow.
But we're not going to talk about people legs.
Oh, good. I don't want to go down that road.
We're not going to talk about chicken legs.
Okay. I don't need to hear about chicken legs.
Nope. We're going to talk about legs, also sometimes called tears, on wine glasses, and if they matter and what they are and all that kind of crap.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
I'm just a normal person, remember?
You are so normal.
About this.
And I'm abnormal. Okay, so Carmela, have you ever seen somebody do this? Because I have. They grab a glass of wine, they swirl it around, they see the wine cling to the side of the glass and drip down the bowl, and then they give a satisfied look, or maybe a concerned look, or a studious look on these legs, right? Have you seen this?
I have seen it, and they act like, or you feel like maybe they know more than you do.
Yes.
But you don't know if it's just like a front or a cover.
Well, we're going to figure out if it is real or a front or a cover. And I've even seen people, I was out to dinner, I won't name names, but not so long ago, and somebody was like swirling a glass of wine. I'm like, ooh, look at the legs.
Right. I mean, maybe it's just an aesthetic thing. They like the look of it.
I think it's just a myth. It's just a myth.
Okay.
So, Carmela, when people talk about legs on a wine, what do you think they generally mean?
Well, like you said, it's sort of the drips that collect on the side of the glass. When you swirl it, the wine sort of goes up a little bit. And when it comes down...
Oh my gosh, you're so smart.
Yes. No, remember, I'm just normal.
Yeah.
Anyway, and so, those little drips kind of come down and they look like long,
legs.
thin
legs.
Right.
That's right.
And apparently they're gorgeous to some people.
That's right. And some people believe that the more prominent or the thicker the legs, the higher the quality of the wine.
Okay.
But Carmela, it's a myth.
Okay.
It's not true.
Well, I don't understand what would make somebody think that anyway.
Well, I think it's just a myth. It's like all myths, where do they come from? I don't know. They pass down from people to people, and they think it means something, and it doesn't actually mean anything. But it's a myth.
Do we know who started it?
It's not a hit. It's a myth.
Oh, that doesn't.
Do we know who started? How would we know who started it?
I don't know.
Yeah, Bobby Legs started it. No, okay.
Maybe there's somebody who spoke about legs.
Okay. The myth about, I'm just going to ignore you because who would know?
I don't know.
All right. So anyway, the myth about legs on wine is that they are some sort of indicator of a wine's quality. But
we're going to find out. Okay.
No, we are here to disabuse you. We are here to disabuse you of that falsehood. Now, legs do indicate some aspects of the wine.
Okay.
They do indicate things about the chemistry of the wine, and they also indicate some things about physics. Science crap, right?
Gravity.
Yes, exactly. But seeing legs on a wine or judging a wine by how thick or long or sticky or whatever its legs are, it's not a real thing. It's not a real wine thing. It's a fake wine thing.
Okay.
It's like people who don't know about wine will do that, and people who know about wine will be like, whatever, right? The quality of legs on a wine has 0. And when I say 0, I mean 0, zilch, none,
and the other thing
nada
is like
about the quality of the wine.
Wait a minute. Sorry. I'm thinking to myself, everybody has a different opinion about legs anyway.
That's right.
So some
pair
people
of
legs
like big
might
legs, some people like long legs, some people like short
even
legs.
with wine legs.
You're right.
Okay.
But legs are not a thing. It doesn't matter the legs. They have they're indication only of the science of liquid and alcohol. I'm going to get to that in a second. Actually, I'm going to get to that right now.
All right.
Without getting too technical, because I'm a nerd, but I'm not that much of a nerd. And there's an article from Decanter in our show notes for this mini-sode that goes in some of the technical aspects. A lot of what you said, Carmela, is true. Legs have to do with alcohol content in a wine and the surface tension of liquid on glass and gravity. Then that sounds pretty nerdy, right?
No.
Well, let me try and explain
A
it.
little abnormal.
Yeah, yes, instead of normal, let me try to explain it in the simplest terms, okay? When you pour wine into a glass, some of that wine coats the sides of the glass, and some of the alcohol in the wine immediately starts to evaporate. And that leaves behind a thicker and more viscous liquid than the wine itself, because some of the alcohol has gone away. Right. And in nerdy scientific terms, this is called the Gibbs-Marangoni effect. Some Italian guy.
Whoa.
Partially not Italian person.
Somebody made it up.
Yeah. So what is the Gibbs-Marangoni? No, they didn't make it up. It's science.
Okay.
What is the Gibbs-Marangoni effect, Carmela, you ask?
What is the whatever effect? I'm sorry. I can't say that all. The
Gibbs-Marangoni effect?
Marangoni effect. What is it, Joe?
Okay, well, I got this great article from Usual Wines that you can also find a link to in our show notes. And this is what it explains. Liquids with different surface tensions will always move away from each other. It's like you and me. We always kind of moving away. No, that's not true. No, that's not true. Because wine is made up of alcohol and water, the wine and the water, which are two different liquids with two different surface tensions, they move away from each other in your wine glass. Which is kind of weird.
That is
but that's
weird.
what happens. And so it's like when you had two different friend groups in high school and you tried to bring them together, but even when you tried to bring them together, they separated.
No, well, it's like oil and water, basically.
Actually, it is.
Yeah,
it's like
or similar.
That's the simile. So when wine coats the inside of your wine glass, liquid is pulled down by gravity, but because alcohol has a higher evaporation point than water, this Gibbs-Marangoni effect causes the water to push upward and away from the more alcoholic wine below. And that causes legs.
Okay, so
and
if
that's
it's
it.
more alcohol
Yeah.
in a wine, that's what's making the difference.
Carmela, you are like, I'm serious. You're like
I'm
a
like
straight
on
up
today.
genius. Yeah. No, that's exactly it.
I'm going from normal to abnormal quickly today.
Yeah, you're weird. No, wines with higher alcohol content tend to have thicker or wider or longer legs, while wines with lower alcohol content will have thinner legs. And legs are also affected by temperature and humidity because that affects how quickly alcohol evaporates. And they're also affected by the shape of the glass. It's just physics. So if it has a narrower opening at the top of the glass, you're more likely to have legs or longer legs. So by the way, if you want to just fool somebody who really thinks legs mean something, just serve wine in those kinds of glasses, those like narrow top, tapered glasses, and they'll go, oh my gosh, the legs on this wine.
Right, it can be a crappy
amazing.
wine, and you can just say, look at the legs,
Exactly.
buddy.
Look at those gams.
Oh, wow.
But again, Carmela, what do legs on wine in your wine glass signify?
Absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing other than alcohol is evaporating. And that's just it. So again, legs have nothing to do with the quality of wine. Absolutely nothing. I'm really sorry if that's something out there in listening land that you've been leaning on and hoping was really true. It's not. It's okay.
Stand on your leg. What is that saying? There's something.
Don't stand on one leg and chew gum.
Whoa.
No, I don't know.
I wasn't going for that one, but that works.
And so the only real way to understand the quality of wine is what?
To taste it.
To taste it.
Right.
That's the only way.
And that's
Don't
what
try
we
to
do.
find shortcuts. We drink wine. You got to drink wine. You can't just look at it.
Right,
You can't
right.
tell anything by just looking at it.
No.
You can tell some things.
Don't
So-
use legs.
Yeah, so now you know, don't use legs. If you hear somebody saying that the wine they're swirling in their glass has legs, you can tell them that it doesn't matter.
Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
You can say, you know what? You don't know what you're talking about.
That's right. Just like
And direct them
Carmela
to the
tells me
Wine Pair
all the time.
podcast.
That's right. Send them our way.
That's right. Forward this minisode.
That's right. We'll educate them. All right. What do you think, Carmela?
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm glad you cleared that up for me.
And it is something that still you hear people talk about. It's not like people don't say it. They still say it a lot.
No,
So,
I know. And people like to see it. So that's fine. If you enjoy seeing that.
Maybe you like that. Exactly. Just don't think it has anything to do with quality. Okay. That's it for this minisode, Carmela. We'd love for you to check out our other minisodes and our regular episodes, by the way, to learn more. And you can find those on our website or on your favorite podcast service. And you can follow us on Instagram at The Wine Pair Podcast, or you can visit our website at thewinepairpodcast.com. And you can email us at joe@thewinepairpodcast.com. And we'd love to hear from you and all that fun stuff. And you can look at our show notes, and there's lots of fun stuff there. So we just hope you follow us and subscribe, and you give us a nice rating and review as a free way to support us. And we'll see you soon. And as we like to say, life is short, so stop drinking shitty wine.
Woo.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
And the happy ending.